Hello there, Abigail. All right, fantastic essay, another fantastic essay. So let's jump in and have a look. The issue of whether old educational systems should be completely abolished is a contentious issue that has grown in importance over the past years. Good. Over the past few years sounds a little bit more natural. And here, what could we say instead of old? Antiquated, perhaps. Home education has been supported by some as the new school arrangement. However, I strongly believe that the traditional method offers tremendous benefits to young learners. This essay will analyse the issue using examples from Harvard University and Switzerland to demonstrate points and support arguments. Fantastic. Homeschooling is probably the most preferred educational setup than the traditional one. This is because it provides flexibility and security for young people by giving the opportunity to learn at their own pace and the protection from school bullying. Good. Here we could have said providing, but it's only a minor improvement. Don't worry about it. Recent studies by Harvard University indicated that the performance of homeschooled students on academic exams is on a par with the counterparts, that they tend to be more psychologically healthy. Okay, thus it is clear why some people recommend eliminating the traditional system. Good. Let's see. So it just seems to be a bit of a contradiction here. Okay, you're talking about the benefits, and then you're saying the traditional methods offered tremendous benefits, and then you talk about the benefits offered by homeschooling. Okay, so the alternatives, homeschooling. All right. And that's what you've mentioned, but it kind of just conflicted with what you were saying in the introduction. But let's continue. Despite the proposed alternative, the conventional method still works effectively in this day and age. This is due to the fact that schools are often a representation of the real world, and it offers a unique and social environment which is impossible to find in a homeschool. Fantastic sentence. Switzerland, for instance, has noted that learners attending traditional institutions are more tolerant and well-rounded. Therefore, the old school system is evidently beneficial to learners. Okay. Okay. I mean, you can see that I'm struggling, bouncing between the introduction, the question, your paragraphs, and that's not really a good sign. Okay. Here, if we'd have just said there are alternatives, these are, well, for example, if we'd have just mentioned home education has been supported as soon as the new school arrangement, as a possible new school arrangement. Okay, so it's all good. The introduction is fine, actually. Here is where we get mixed up. If you'd have just said, yes, there are alternatives, homeschooling, online education, one-to-one tuition, okay, and then you say recent studies showed that these alternatives are growing in popularity. Therefore, it is clear most countries in the West do offer alternatives. Blah blah blah. Okay, because here it's getting a bit mixed up because we're talking about the benefits, and that's not really what we were asking for, is it? We're looking at alternatives, and then here we can jump in with our opinion. Can you see how I'm getting mixed up there? So that's just one thing to bear in mind for the next essays if you're going to continue. So to conclude, although some individuals leaning towards home education, the benefits that can be derived from the traditional way are unequivocal. Good. It is predicted that an education revolution will not be implemented anytime soon. Very good. Very good. Here it would have been better to say it is predicted that a revolution in education will not be implemented anytime soon. Okay, cool. Here, something maybe more relevant to the essay, okay, because we weren't really talking about revolutions. What we could have said is it's predicted that the range of alternatives will continue to grow in the future, yet the traditional system will most likely prevail in the majority of the countries. Okay, something like that. Great task 2 essay, very eloquently written as always. And if you want to carry on checking, carry on getting feedback, have a look at the links that I've included in this with this reply. Okay, pie charts compare the amount of expenses in 6 different sectors by 3 areas in the UK in 2014. Very good. In 2014, Yorkshire's largest spendings went to education at 20% and leisure at 15%. Good. Community care, social services, environment, and, and sectors collectively called others, accounted for 10%, 8%, 5% and 2% respectively. Genius. Genius, genius, genius. Expenditure on community care was recorded at 10%, while environment and others had almost the same proportion at around 4%. Good. Social services accounted for just 1% of the total budget. Fantastic. Lancashire also employed a huge percentage of its funds on education and leisure with 20% each. Very good. Would have been good to see the word allocated, like funds allocated, but don't worry about it. Okay, sorry, Lancashire also employed a huge percentage of its funds on education and leisure. Right, so here we don't need these as capital letters, okay? Especially because afterwards we switch into lowercase. The counties obviously need the, what do you call it, capital letters. So let me just finish off, sorry. A few percent on education leisure with 20% each. The remaining sectors had an equal share of 10% individually. Genius, this is wonderful work. Overall, it can be clearly seen that all 3 districts use most of their budget on education and leisure. So if we could have used whereas or while, we did use while there, okay, that would have been good. Let's see. Whereas environment and other were consistently the lowest sectors to receive funding. Okay, just to show the lowest as well. Another suggestion is to use the we've used the number percentages, that's fantastic, but we can also use, especially with the pie chart, the written fractions, like a third, 2/3, a fifth, a tenth, a quarter. Okay, so it might be worth reviewing those, and that will help you with your grammatical range and accuracy score. Especially with your ability, I don't think it would be too much of a challenge to employ those correctly. So, fantastic work, Abigail. Now, we've got 2 options. We can just finish the course there, okay, or we can carry on improving and buy another essay packs, and the value in that would be just so to continue improving, like I said, and not to lose what we've already learned. Okay, so perhaps we could go at a slightly slower rate, maybe 1 every 3 or 4 days, and this way you'll just maintain and continue discovering opportunities to improve with more feedback. Okay then, it's been fantastic doing the course with you, and if you've got any suggestions to improve it, please let me know. And you've improved fantastically, and I'm really happy. Okay then, Abigail, have a great day, and all the best. Good luck as well.